Welcome to Random-ish with Sanja. How you doing? I am so excited because this is the video version of the podcast. I am very, very excited. And of course, knowing there's like a lot to do. So how you doing? How you doing? How are you today? Yeah, I realize I can't exactly keep saying how you doing, even though technically got that whole thing from how you doing. Can you tell my friend's fan? Yeah, got that from the whole Joey thing, but realize the queen of radio talk says that, so I'm gonna have to not be doing that. All right, so how you doing today? Yeah, we'll figure that one out. But happy to be here with you today. Excited because I got a great show for you. Going back to the original, what I needed to do is bring my little fishbowl. That's what I should have done. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I have that next time. Have the little fishbowl for the topics, because really this is all about conversating about what's on my mind, what's happening in my life that week, and also of course talking with very, very interesting people, conversating about all the different topics that I'm into. And today, happy to say for you, got a great guest coming on to the show. We're going to be talking to Mr. John the Violinist, aka John Randolph. He is a guy who's been healing hearts and making people very happy with his music. So we'll be talking with him a little bit later on today. We've got a new president getting ready to be sworn in. We're almost there. Of course, granted, you know, everything won't be a-okay and okie dokie within the 5 minutes of Biden being in office, but nonetheless, Miss Harris is breaking all kinds of, is just really writing her story. You know, this is going to be great. The first female vice president. We're going to have the first, second man. Is that what it's called? Something like that. And the fact that she is of so many different nationalities is just like, yes. Yes. So we're totally looking forward to that. Something else that we're looking forward to, teleportation. Did you know that that's happening? Yeah, science has done their first teleportation over 44 meters. Yeah. Hello. That means pretty much we're going to be able to be doing the whole, I want to be in LA today. Oh, today I'm going to be in New York. Oh, right now I need to be in Chicago. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, the question is, are you going to be among the first to do it? Everybody's watching you going, so I'm going to do it like that, but I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it, you know. So you end up just giving everybody else the blueprint. So I'm not into necessarily being the first one to do it, but I definitely want to try. Oh my goodness. So in some other news, did you hear about the guy who was living in the airport for 3 months? Yeah, guys, what do we see? My thing is first we got the person who is on the wing of the airplane in Vegas. Then you have the lady with the dogs and the escaping the plane and all of that good shit. And now you've got this guy who's been living in a secured, restricted area for 3 months undetected. I'm just saying, you mofos are about to make America not even like, okay, so we already know that we're not exactly in the same rankings that we have been previously, but doing shit like this, you guys are going to make these fools act like we have to have top-notch security everywhere, and we're not going to be able to do anything. So I need y'all to stop. I need y'all to sit down. I need you to stop acting crazy, and yeah, just go back to normal. In this guy's defense, he said that basically he flew in October, which I still don't understand this, but he flew in October, got scared because of the COVID, and then hid for 3 months since October 19th. That's what he said. I'm not the one who made up the story. So in my opinion, y'all better not be buying that. Y'all better not be buying that. I need some of our officials to have a little bit of a criminal mind and understand that I think that dude was plotting some stuff. So we can't torture him, but get the information out of him. I'm just saying, because there's more to the story than I was scared. I was scared, so I decided to hide for 3 months. I was like, I ain't leaving. I ain't getting on no plane. You could have walked home. I'm just saying, in that 3 months, you could have walked home. You could have called and got a ride from somebody else. You could have rented a car. There's many things that you could have done if it was just a simple, I don't want to get on the airplane type thing. So I'm just saying, you guys, it's kind of not cool, because that means they're going to definitely be tightening up on some shit. And again, just makes me say that there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't actually know the truth to. And you better start looking out for yourself, boo-boo. Okay, 2021, we already know. You better start looking out for yourself. I know I'm about to, because it's the way of the world. Speaking of the way of the world, let's check in with our guest today, Mr. John Randolph. He is helping to ease some of the pain and some of the injustice with his violin. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Random Ish with Sanja. How you doing? Oh, wait a minute. Can't say that anymore. How are you today? Anyways, let's fix the hair with the natural girl hair problems and everything like that. So don't listen. If it froze out, it froze out. The hair, she has a mind of its own. She likes to do what she do. You know what I'm saying? So today on this show, I was telling you, we are talking to a young man who is helping spread light and love in the world. I'm all about it. I would like to introduce you guys today to Mr. John the Violinist. Mr. Randolph, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing today, Sonia?
I'm good, I'm good. So it's Sanja like ganja.
No, like ganja.
Yes! We likes the ganja. A little special. Kind of like you, dude. I saw you on Instagram, and you are unbelievably talented. You are playing the violin. When did you get into playing the violin?
So it started actually when I was 5. My dad got me into playing an instrument. Actually, my mom is the one who originally had the idea. She does play the piano, so it kind of runs in my family.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what, let's get you playing an instrument. And they told me to pick out an instrument, and that's what I went with. And it was history from there.
Wow, so you actually chose it. You know, I did this birthday party. I'm a DJ as well, a mobile DJ. And I did this birthday party for this kid. He was like, what, 3 years old, I want to say it was. And his parents, what we did is we had my little setup, and then we had a bunch of instruments in front of the DJ booth. And I was like, oh, they're going to have a bunch of like kids come over and play the instruments. And they were like, no, what we do is we fill our house with musical instruments, and then we allow him to pick and choose which instruments that he likes. And right now he's super into the guitar. And I was jealous. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, dang, I wish my parents had done something like that. I thought that was such a great thing to allow the kid to find out which instrument he chose. So you did actually choose the violin yourself.
Yes. So it happened just like that. Except it wasn't my parents. They brought me to a school of arts in Connecticut called the Hart School of Arts, and they had the instruments on the table. So there's a whole table full of different instruments, and that's the one I chose. And my dad's like, all right, if you're going to choose that, you're going to stick with it. So I don't know but yeah, he made me stick with that even though sometimes I didn't want to.
I was going to ask you, I mean, so you 5 years old, that's pretty young. We won't necessarily ask how old you are now, but I'm pretty sure you're not that old. But you've been doing this for a while. Was it always easy for you? Like, you know, I'm saying, so did you ever hit that age where you're like, dude, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to do this.
First middle school, high school. You know, at first it gets to that age where it's not really, people aren't designed. I wasn't playing, you know, pop culture music. I was playing classical music. I was playing Vivaldi, Beethoven, Bach. So that's when it became kind of, I started developing other interests such as sports and girls and,
Right?
every middle schoolers kind of start.
They weren't with the Bach. They weren't trying to hear. They're like, bruh, that's not getting you no play right now. So may I ask then, you as you started to, live your life and wanting to branch out into the other things, how did you make that correlation? Because when I saw you on Instagram, I actually saw you playing some hip hop joints, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm really liking this. Okay, so how did you make that jump? How did you?
Oh, once middle school hit, I kind of put the violin down, but not completely because my parents, like I said, until I'm in their household, that's going to be, you're going to utilize it. So I kind of put it down, picked it up. Every now and then people would ask me to play something for a different event. My middle school graduation, I was asked to play. So things like that, I would, pick it up for church. But outside of that, I was like, I'm not really interested. It wasn't until I got into college off of a music scholarship at Central Connecticut University. Um, and even then, I was like, I really don't want to do this, but I got into the school because of music. And I was a music major originally, and I didn't really I wasn't really interested in it, and I changed my major to psychology. But what happened was, there was a talent show, and someone's like, "Hey, man, you should do a talent show." I was like, "You should play the violin," because I did always. Once college, I started fooling around and playing different songs, different genres of music. So then he told me to go ahead and enter my name into the talent show, and so I entered my name in. I played a few songs, some Rihanna, some Ti.
Nice.
And that was the first time I did it on a big stage, and the crowd was loving it. And then at the end of the talent show, I got first place. And that's when it kind of started clicking. And that's when I started saying, okay, maybe I could see where I could take this. So.
Right. I like that. I'm all about the company name is Manifest Beauty. I'm all about the following of the energy. And also I saw that you got yourself on the CBS this morning. Which has been a long time in the making. So I'm hearing that, you definitely, I think I heard church like twice there. So you have, your faith has always been there to kind of like help you out. Has that always played a part in the music that you choose?
So yeah, I was pretty much raised in the church. That's actually where I am right now.
Hey.
So I was raised in the church, and that's kind of where I kind of got my start in music, and that's why I would hear music consistently, like maybe like 4 times a week, because I went to church about 4 times a week.
Oh wow.
And, so it's just music, 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 singing, 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 and I would play my violin like once a week at the church, also in different areas and different other things outside of church as well. But so yeah, the church is where I was rooted, and that's kind of where my belief system is and my heart is. So, after that, I kind of put that in with that powerful piece that I did with a friend of mine named Isaac. So, and people loved it.
People definitely loved it. I mean, the fact that you got some of our local news stations to come out now. I want to touch on that real quick. So I love the fact that you're in a church right now. So he's getting backed by the energy right now. Okay. Love that. And on top of the fact that last year with some of the things that happened, because it's not like the news channels just come knocking to your door. Like they were like, hey, we heard that you were thinking about doing something. So how did you draw that attention? Did you just like go out in your hometown and started playing the violin in your church, and then did people see it and the word spread? Like how did that come about?
Started with I just wanted to do that, put it on my Instagram as as like a powerful message. So when I did that, I had my videographer come in, and he basically, I gave him the idea of how I wanted to handle it. Instead of
Yeah.
doing I'm just going to stop playing in the middle of the anthem,
Oh.
and then have at the end of the video. So that ended up getting into, someone submitted that to the news or the Instagram. Someone saw on Instagram. So one news source found it. I think it was WTNH saw it first, and then it just became like a tumbling effect. So, after that was Fox. One day I was actually at my parents' house in Stanford, and I got an email from WTNH saying they want to come out to do a special in the morning. They didn't want to wait till the next day.
Hello.
A little bit later, somehow, then eventually Gail King saw the video.
Wait, what? Gail? Miss Kang? So you're like a degree away from Oprah?
Gail King saw the video. I actually have some people that are very close to Gail too. So I think she ended up seeing the video through someone, and then she's like, we got to call him up right away, get on the news as well. So
that is, listen, that's super dope. It's great to hear the snowball effect that you had just in wanting to get out there and put some type of creation that is to be, send a message, and of course to, kind of help heal. I found, I thought that it was extremely powerful, and having your sons there at the end of that video, I just really think that it was a very poignant, point that you were looking to make, and then just to have this song stop and end. It definitely moved me. It definitely did. I was like, okay, look at Connecticut standing up. Look at us representing just a little bit and making some national headlines in a positive way. That's that's the beautiful thing, is doing it in a positive way. So I got some questions for you, because now I'm super curious. So you've been playing, do you play other instruments as well?
I play piano. So piano and violin. But violin's my main instrument, yes.
Okay, and I saw that you also have some friends that you've been playing with. Are you guys out on tour? Can people hire you to come in, like, play at their events?
That's pretty much what I get called to do. I get mostly weddings and intimate events.
Yes.
Some of the larger events have been getting shut down, but as far as the intimate events, at all-time high pretty much. So the personal dinners with personal chefs, then they have me play while they're eating dinner, things like that. So, or anything, birthdays, things like that. So the weddings are always there as well. So that's
right. Yeah, you know what, and that's the thing. I know that for myself, doing the mobile DJs with the weddings and stuff like that, like all of the large gatherings, that's that's a wrap. I think until I heard summer of this year, maybe August, something, and that's a maybe. But I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, when you're playing just a simple instrument, you're actually able to keep going, because it's just you and the instrument, and it's not with your events. It's not necessarily 150 people. It can be a setting of 10, 15, or even 5, or even just 2. And have you there just playing. Oh my God, I want that. I need to have John come and play dinner. I need that. Yeah, okay. So now that I know that that's a possibility, I absolutely need to experience that. I'm just saying. Speaking of experiences, so do you play for your wife? I was so curious about that. So, Kanye West, for, what was it? For, I think it was Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, something like that. He had Kenny G at the house playing for Kim. And I immediately thought of, well, if I was married to a violinist, I would be totally expecting you to serenade me on birthdays, holidays, anything like. Do you? So do you do that for your wife?
Actually, when I proposed to her, I pulled out the violin at a restaurant in Boston. So she gets all the violin, anything before I even make it, she sees it first. So she gets a little bit. It's funny. I also my friend plays the saxophone. I have him come out sometimes and do some stuff. We do different things together. So sometimes he does stuff, but yeah, so she loves it.
Oh man, I could only freaking imagine. Oh, that'd have been so dope. Get down on the knee and then you propose. Oh, with the freaking violin. Oh, I'm loving that. Oh, I freaking love that. So let me ask you a question. Who are some of your influences? You mentioned earlier that you started out playing the Mozart and Bach and, you know, all of the classical music. And then you got into, I heard Rihanna, I heard a little T.I. So who are your musical influences like right now? Who are you listening to?
So in the music industry, I listen to a lot of different artists. I listen to hip hop and R&B. As far as hip hop, I think my favorite hip hop artist would be Drake because he's versatile. So he can do the singing and he does the rapping, which I really admire. I think that's
Yeah.
and just any type of singing melodies. That's pretty much my avenue. So R&B will always be my number one choice for me. I do the hip hop, different other genres, but R&B is definitely my favorite.
Nice. And so when you are, how do you transpose? Because as I was listening to you, I'm thinking now, I guess this is where I'm going to show that, yes, I might be a DJ, but I'm not musically inclined. But with the notes that you hear that are in the different music, when it comes to you then playing it on the violin, like, what are you doing? Are you just listening to it by ear and then just because you've been doing it for so long, you're able to just kind of like play it? Or is there some kind of like, do they create these songs for different instruments? Like, so is there a song book with Jay-Z songs like for a flute, for a clarinet, for a saxophone?
And no, I do not transpose. Well, I don't. Majority of the music that I learn, I'm not transposing before I do so. After being raised in the church and after learning under a Suzuki method, which is violin, you learn by ear first. Ear kind of is what it gives me that ability to kind of play different types of music and different songs. So yeah, like you said, the first thing you said was correct. It's the listening, playing by ear, as like the jazz musicians do. You know, they would kind of do there's a lot of improvising. So that's pretty much how I kind of do it. Sometimes I'll change keys of songs when I hear them to make it into a key that I like better. But outside of that, yeah.
Wow, so you smart. Okay. All right. Okay, I get that. I'm totally digging that. So I got a question for you. Do you have some cuts? I saw that you've been definitely putting out a lot of music. Do you have your piece with you? Like, can you give them a little something? Can I get a video from you? Like, can we play? Listen, we got to play. We got to let them hear your music. You know what I'm saying? Hey, welcome back to Random Ish. I hope you enjoyed some of John's music. The guy's talented, right? Like unfreaking believable. Seriously, you've got the ear, and to know now that it's all like listening to it and then trying to play it yourself. Can I ask you a question? What's another thing about the violin like that nobody knows? I've always wondered, like, so do you guys like get crick in your neck from playing like that? So what's a violin secret that we don't know about?
There's a lot of secrets. Actually, you could tell a violinist a lot of times because they have this rash under their neck. No, it's not a hickey, it's a rash. So
I wasn't cheating last night. I was playing.
it's from the friction between the violin and the skin being rubbed together. So a lot of times you'll see that rash on the left side.
Oh. So when you're playing, does it go like with your left hand, right hand? So you know what I mean? Is there a playing left and playing right, or is it just you always play left?
It goes on your left shoulder. So you play with your left hand and you bow with your right hand.
We just learned 2 new things about violinists. I do appreciate, you coming on here. Do me a favor and do us all a favor. Please let them know, where can they find you? How can they hire you? Let them know how they can hire you.
So yes, you can find me on Instagram at John Violinist. That is JOHN and Violinist. And you can message me there, and then I'll get you all the information you need, and we can get the ball rolling. And I would love to do that for anybody who's interested.
Hey, and you're willing to travel, right? Because I'm super excited. This is going up on Roku. So, I mean, you never know. You could get somebody from Vegas who's like, dude, come on through.
I have weddings scheduled in Mexico, Australia. I have some in St. Lucia, St. Thomas, and I have some in London, Toronto. So I'm all over.
All over the world. Well, I do appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come and chit chat with us. Again, I think you're extremely talented and you're doing the dang old thing. Obviously, God's got your back. You are growing and, putting out that wonderful light in the world because, right now we totally need it. So again, John, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to come and chit chat with us. Guys, listen, go check out his Instagram, go follow him. Are you on YouTube too?
YouTube. Oh yes.
Hey. The phone kind of cut out. Will you give him your YouTube one more time?
It's John Violinist on YouTube as well.
Hey. Okay, so basically Google John the Violinist. Make sure that you're following him. Send him some support. And again, if you've got an event or anything going on, the man is for hire. He's traveling all over the world. Again, John, thanks for taking the time out. I love to see people who are manifesting beauty. The man is out here creating beauty in a world, being another light in the darkness. I love it. Enjoy. Have a great day. Thank you for stopping by.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
The Clothesline, world-class service with a personal touch, offering commercial laundering services, wash, dry, and fold with free pickup and drop-off included, dry cleaning services, and coin-op laundry. Be sure to check out the Facebook page, The Clothesline, for cleaning tips you can use at home. TheClotheslineLaundromat.com.